If you're shopping for a real 7-seat SUV in 2026, one that's built on a ladder frame chassis, offers proper four-wheel drive, and still tries to balance family comfort with off-road credibility, your shortlist is already very small. And right in the middle of that list sits the 2026 Ford Everest Titanium 4x4. This isn't a soft road crossover pretending to be tough. The Everest is closely related to the Ford Ranger pickup, and that DNA matters, especially when most large SUVs today are shifting toward car-based platforms. But the big question is, does the Everest Titanium actually deliver the best all-around package for families who want space, safety, long-distance comfort, and real-world capability? In this Torque Hub review, we're breaking down the 2026 Ford Everest Titanium 4x4 piece by piece. No hype, no brand bias, just verified facts and real-world relevance. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly whether this SUV deserves a spot in your garage or if you should be looking elsewhere. Before we go any further, it's important to set the context, because the Ford Everest occupies a very specific space in the global SUV market. The 2026 Ford Everest Titanium 4x4 is a body-on-frame mid-size SUV built on the T6.2 platform, the same architecture that underpins the latest generation Ford Ranger. This platform was developed to improve structural rigidity, on-road stability, towing capability, and off-road durability compared to the previous Everest generation. Now, for our US audience, here's the key clarification. The Ford Everest is not officially sold in the United States. Instead, it competes globally against vehicles Americans do recognize. SUVs like the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado, Toyota Fortuner, Isuzu MU-X, Mitsubishi Pajero Sport, and even overlaps in mission with vehicles like the Toyota 4Runner and Jeep Grand Cherokee in terms of use case. The Titanium trim sits as a premium, family-focused variant in the Everest lineup. It's positioned below the more off-road-oriented Everest Wildtrak, but above entry-level trims, prioritizing comfort, technology, refinement, and daily usability, without removing the mechanical hardware that makes this a capable 4x4. This means you still get a true four-wheel drive system, low-range gearing, a ladder frame chassis, and a vehicle designed to tow, travel long distances, and handle poor road conditions, all while offering 3-row seating for 7 passengers, a more upscale cabin, and driver assist and infotainment technology aimed at modern family buyers. In global markets like Australia, Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and parts of Africa, the Everest Titanium is often chosen by buyers who want Land Cruiser-style robustness, but in a slightly more affordable and tech-forward package. So, as we go through this review, the real question isn't just, is the Everest good? It's whether the titanium trim strikes the right balance between rugged engineering and everyday family comfort, and whether it holds its own against some very serious competition. From the outside, the 2026 Ford Everest Titanium makes it very clear that this is not a car-based SUV, and that's intentional. The overall design is upright, squared off, and functional, closely aligned with the latest generation Ford Ranger. You can immediately see that ladder frame proportion, a tall hood, a wide stance, and a strong shoulder line that runs cleanly from the front fenders to the rear. Up front, the Everest Titanium uses a large chrome-accented grille with horizontal bars, flanked by C-clamp-style LED headlights, a Ford design signature seen across its global SUV and truck lineup. These headlights are full LED units with a sharp daytime running light pattern that gives the Everest a modern but still tough appearance. The front bumper is body-colored rather than aggressively styled, which signals the Titanium's positioning. This is the refined, premium-oriented Everest, not the hardcore off-road Wildtrak. That said, ground clearance remains generous, and the front approach angle is still practical for uneven terrain and rough roads. Move to the side profile, and the Everest's length and height become more apparent. The proportions are boxy but clean. Large doors make cabin access easy across all 3 rows, and the wheel arches are subtly flared, giving the SUV visual width without looking exaggerated. The titanium trim typically rides on 18-inch alloy wheels, designed more for ride comfort and durability than extreme off-road aesthetics. The side steps come standard in most markets, making entry and exit easier, especially for rear seat passengers and families with kids. At the rear, the Everest continues with a vertical tailgate design, which helps maximize cargo space. The LED taillights are wide and horizontally oriented, and the tailgate opens to a low loading lip, a practical detail if you're regularly loading luggage, groceries, or gear. Another key exterior detail is visibility and driver awareness. The Everest's upright seating position, large mirrors, and wide glass area give it excellent outward visibility, something that's becoming rare as SUVs adopt more coupe-like shapes. Overall, the exterior of the 2026 Ford Everest Titanium isn't about flashy styling or aggressive body kits. It's about confidence, durability, and presence. A design that communicates strength first while still feeling modern and premium enough for daily family use. Step inside the 2026 Ford Everest Titanium, and this is where the shift from rugged utility to family-focused refinement becomes very clear. The cabin design follows Ford's latest global layout, shared in philosophy with the new Ranger, but executed with a more premium finish. The dashboard is horizontal and wide, which enhances the sense of space up front, and materials are a noticeable step up compared to older ladder frame SUVs. In the titanium trim, you get leather-appointed seating with a strong emphasis on long-distance comfort rather than sporty bolstering. The front seats are wide, supportive, and designed for hours behind the wheel, exactly what you want in a vehicle meant for road trips and daily family use. Dominating the center of the dashboard is a large portrait-oriented touchscreen running Ford's Sync 4 system. This setup handles infotainment, navigation in supported markets, vehicle settings, and off-road information displays. Sync 4 is known for faster response times than older Ford systems, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto support, and a clean tile-based interface that's easy to use while driving. Below the screen, Ford has retained physical controls for key functions like climate and volume, an important usability win, especially in a vehicle that may be driven on rough roads. The driver faces a digital instrument cluster providing configurable layouts for speed, navigation prompts, driver assist information, and 4x4 system status. The driving position itself is upright and commanding, giving you excellent forward visibility and a clear view of the road edges. Moving to the second row, the Everest Titanium really plays to its strengths. There's ample legroom and headroom, helped by the vehicle's boxy shape. Rear passengers benefit from wide opening doors, rear air vents, and multiple charging ports in most markets. The third row is usable, not just for kids, but for adults on shorter trips. That's a big deal in this segment. The seats are mounted at a realistic height, and access is straightforward thanks to the large second-row door openings and folding seat mechanism. When it comes to storage and practicality, the Everest is clearly designed with families in mind. Multiple cup holders across all rows, deep door pockets, a spacious center console, and a cargo area that remains usable even with all 7 seats in place. With the third row folded, the Everest transforms into a serious cargo hauler, capable of handling luggage, camping gear, or daily business needs without compromise. Overall, the interior of the 2026 Ford Everest Titanium successfully bridges 2 worlds. It still feels tough and durable, as a ladder frame SUV should, but it delivers the comfort, technology, and space that modern buyers expect from a premium 7-seat family vehicle. Now, let's talk about what really defines the 2026 Ford Everest Titanium 4x4, how it performs in the real world. In most global markets, the Everest Titanium 4x4 is powered by Ford's 2.0-liter bi-turbo diesel 4-cylinder engine, paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission. This powertrain is a known quantity in Ford's global lineup and is shared with higher output versions of the Ranger. This engine produces approximately 210 PS, around 207 horsepower, and 500 Newton-meters of torque, with peak torque arriving low in the rev range, exactly where you want it in a large, heavy SUV. The emphasis here is not outright speed, but smooth torque delivery, towing confidence, and relaxed highway cruising. It's important to clarify that while some Everest variants in certain markets offer a 3-liter V6 turbo diesel, the titanium trim is typically positioned with the 2.0 bi-turbo as the balance point between performance, efficiency, and cost. Availability can vary by region, but the titanium is fundamentally tuned for everyday usability rather than maximum output. On the road, the Everest feels surprisingly composed for a ladder frame SUV. Ford's T6.2 platform brought meaningful improvements in chassis rigidity and suspension tuning compared to the previous generation. The result is reduced body roll, better high-speed stability, and a more planted feel during lane changes and long highway drives. The 10-speed automatic deserves special mention. It's calibrated to keep the engine in its torque band, shifting smoothly and unobtrusively. In normal driving, gear changes fade into the background, which adds to the overall refinement, something older body-on-frame SUVs often struggled with. When the road ends, the Everest's hardware starts to matter. The full-time capable 4x4 system includes low-range gearing, multiple drive modes, including normal, eco, tow and haul, slippery, mud and ruts, and sand in supported markets, and electronic traction control tuned for off-road use. This allows the Everest Titanium to handle gravel roads, snow, mud, steep inclines, and uneven terrain with confidence, even though it's not marketed as the hardcore off-road trim. Towing is another strong point. Depending on market regulations, the Everest is rated to tow up to 3,500 kilograms, a figure that places it squarely among the leaders in its class. The chassis, cooling system, and drivetrain are all engineered with towing in mind, not added as an afterthought. Fuel efficiency, for a vehicle of this size and construction, is competitive. The bi-turbo diesel setup helps balance power and consumption, making the Everest suitable for long-distance travel without constant fuel stops. Overall, the 2026 Ford Everest Titanium delivers performance that's best described as confident, controlled, and purpose-built. It doesn't try to feel like a sports SUV, and that's a good thing. Instead, it focuses on torque, stability, and capability, whether you're commuting, road tripping with the family, or venturing off paved roads. This is where the 2026 Ford Everest Titanium really reinforces its position as a modern, family-oriented SUV, because Ford didn't treat technology and safety as optional extras. Starting with driver assistance and active safety, the Everest Titanium comes equipped with a comprehensive suite of systems that are now expected in the premium SUV segment. These typically include adaptive cruise control with stop-and-go functionality, autonomous emergency braking with vehicle, pedestrian, and cyclist detection, lane keeping aid and lane departure warning, blind spot monitoring with cross-traffic alert, driver attention monitoring, and traffic sign recognition. These systems work together to reduce fatigue on long drives and add an extra layer of protection in daily commuting scenarios, especially important in a vehicle that may regularly carry children or multiple passengers. Parking and low-speed maneuvering are also well covered. The Everest Titanium is equipped with a 360-degree camera system, front and rear parking sensors, and a reversing camera with dynamic guidelines. Considering the Everest's size and height, this technology makes a noticeable difference in tight urban environments and parking lots. Structurally, the Everest benefits from its T6.2 platform, which was engineered with increased torsional rigidity and improved crash performance compared to the previous generation. In global safety testing, the current generation Everest has achieved top-tier safety ratings in markets where it has been formally assessed, reinforcing its credentials as a family-safe SUV. Inside the cabin, you'll find multiple airbags covering front, side, and curtain protection across all rows, ISOFIX anchor points for child seats, and seatbelt reminders for all occupied seating positions. On the technology side, beyond safety, the Sync 4 system also plays a role in reducing distraction. Voice commands, steering wheel controls, and a clean interface help keep the driver's focus on the road rather than buried in menus. Ford has also integrated over-the-air update capability in supported markets, allowing software improvements and system updates without requiring a dealership visit, a feature that's becoming increasingly important as vehicles become more software-driven.
The big takeaway here is balance. The 2026 Ford Everest Titanium doesn't overload the driver with gimmicks, but it does deliver meaningful, usable technology that enhances safety, confidence, and day-to-day comfort. Exactly what buyers in this segment tend to value most.
Now let's talk about the final piece of the puzzle, value. And this is where global context really matters. Because the Ford Everest is not officially sold in the United States, pricing varies significantly by region. In key global markets like Australia, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East, the Everest Titanium 4x4 is positioned as a mid to upper trim, priced below the Wildtrak and V6 variants, but well above base models. When you convert regional pricing into US dollar terms, the Everest Titanium typically lands in a bracket comparable to well-equipped midsize SUVs, offering serious hardware, body-on-frame construction, low-range 4WD, and a full safety suite, without pushing into full-size luxury SUV territory. What you're paying for here isn't badge prestige. You're paying for a proper ladder frame SUV, a proven diesel powertrain, seating for 7 adults, strong towing and long-distance capability, and modern technology that doesn't sacrifice usability. So who should seriously consider the 2026 Ford Everest Titanium? This SUV makes the most sense for buyers who need 3-row seating but don't want a massive full-size SUV, value durability and real 4WD capability over sporty handling, regularly drive long distances, tow or deal with rough road conditions, want a premium-feeling cabin without luxury brand pricing. On the flip side, the Everest may not be ideal if you prioritize sharp on-road performance over ride comfort, you rarely use the 3rd row or 4WD system, or you're strictly shopping within officially supported US market vehicles. The 2026 Ford Everest Titanium 4x4 succeeds because it stays honest. It doesn't pretend to be a luxury crossover, and it doesn't try to be an extreme off-road toy. Instead, it delivers a well-engineered, family-friendly, globally proven SUV that blends comfort, safety, and real capability better than most vehicles in its class. If this vehicle were sold in the US, it would sit comfortably between something like a Toyota 4Runner and a Land Cruiser Prado, and for many buyers, that would be a very compelling place to be. This has been Torque Hub. If this breakdown helped you, hit that like button, subscribe for more real-world analysis, and let us know in the comments which SUV you want us to review next.